now speaking of messes, let's get to this one. So Elon Musk, I can't with him. But anyway, so he basically said that his estranged trans daughter was killed by the woke mind virus after he was tricked, I'll tell you, tricked into agreeing to gender reaffirming care procedures. So Elon Musk argues that he was deceived into allowing the medical gender reassignment of his trans daughter, claiming that she was killed by the woke mind virus. Now, I would read it, but it's so much more entertaining for y'all to hear this foolishness out of his own damn mouth. And the worst part is, well, we definitely going to have to read the comments because they was windmilling his ass, which I did find funny, that he actually went and spoke to a therapist, some therapist, podcast, or whatever, about this sort of thing. Now, if you have a medical degree and you out here spreading lies, shouldn't that should be revoked? Especially if, well, I don't know. What is it that he told a psychologist, his name was Dr. Jordan Peterson, but he went and did an interview with Daily Wire. I think Daily Wire is conservative. So we already know this is what y'all do when y'all go and y'all pick certain people, certain channels to go spew your propaganda. And this is exactly what he's doing. Because I didn't know that he had a trans child. He has 12 kids, by the way. So now he up neck and neck with Nick Cannon. So, he has a 20-year-old child, Vivian, who transitioned in 2022, so 2 years ago. But anyway, we're going to play this clip, and then we'll come back and we'll talk.
Happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This is before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. Hearing that you were told, I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he.
That was a lie right from the outset.
Incredibly evil, and I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison. So I was tricked into doing this, it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs. Anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah.
All right. So the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and there's lots of people in that situation now.
Right.
It's not pretty, and lots of demolished kids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to be the final straw. All right, so let's.
So I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that.
Okay, we don't need to continue with the foolishness. I was like, I'm done with him. Because first of all, now this makes perfect sense why he's been eradicating and doing all the things that he's been doing on social media and making a lot of transphobic, a lot of real nasty comments and stuff about, the trans community, and now talking about woke mob. And here's what I don't understand. For somebody who is supposed to be this genius and this, wannabe Tony Stark, basically cosplaying Tony Stark, I should say. For somebody who's supposed to be so smart, has got to be the one that's biggest idiots under the sun. Because I'm sitting there thinking, for somebody who owns Twitter, and yeah, I'm dead naming yo shit and calling it Twitter because that's what it always will be. Since you want to talk about dead naming and you want to continue to misgender your trans child, intentionally calling them your son when it's your daughter. They're no longer your son. First of all, I believe in the picture. If I can show you, I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, they're twins that they have. So one of them is that, so I think from this picture that they're a twin, if I'm not mistaken. So the people in the comments had this to say, and this is where I was surprised that the people in the neighborhood talk was actually more on, against what he was saying than for it. Because at the end and again, I'm always expecting a lot of transphobia and homophobia to be in on the black blogs when it comes to stuff. So one person said, "You too rich for this." I put, "I truly believe Elon is short but slow." Another person put, "Or was this after his baby mama left him for a trans woman, Chelsea Manning? Let's get into his real beef." And I ain't know that, but let's continue. Another person put, "I want to know when TF did white people take the word woke and flip it to be a derogatory word?" Oh, that's the main thing. That's why I always get irritated when it comes to these races where y'all want to sit and take the word woke and y'all want to turn it into like a racial dog whistle. And basically, woke basically means taking something that is based off of a marginalized community, like say with bringing awareness to marginalized people. So say like what's going on within the Black community, especially like, okay, so then when it's like be vigilant, stay woke, that's what that basically means, just being aware of what's going on around you. It has nothing to do with, oh well, it's people trying to change your belief system or whatever, because I think that's the way they look at it. It's like, oh well, you're trying to push this agenda or you're trying to push this thing on us that is new and I don't agree with it. That's what it just seems like to me when y'all use that, or y'all using so many ways. I'm even confused as what the fuck y'all even use. What does the term woke mean to you? So whenever bigots say this, I guess maybe the question I'm going to have to do is ask, what the hell does woke mean? What are you talking about? Another person put, "Can conservative/Republicans stop using the word woke? When I was younger and even before, that's not what the word meant at all." Another person put, "Let's translate what he said. His son is struggling with gender identity and suicidal. Upon receiving medical help, the son then transitioned into the identity they wanted and now lives a happy, healthy life. The full-grown adult has a TikTok. This adult remembers how their shitty parent treated them then and now and has fully disowned Elon Musk. Elon Musk, just like Trump, cannot take any personal responsibility, so it's they took my son and not my child hates me, wants nothing to do with me, and I'm still on podcasts talking shit about them." Well, that sounds about on point. And when it was somebody was the son dead, I thought maybe the child committed suicide or something or another, but apparently the child is still alive, but you're trying to say because the person that you knew is dead, now they become someone else. I didn't understand what the hell he was talking. Like, I'm sitting here thinking the kid literally is not alive on this earth no more. Another person put, "It is incredibly frustrating how a term that Black Americans use to support one another has been co-opted for whatever this ish is. Leave Black Americans and their lexicon out of it." Another person put, "The use of the word trick is dangerous here. No one tricked Elon Musk into anything. Being that rich, I'm not signing anything without legal counsel." And that's why I was saying, oh, as well, like, how'd somebody trick you? You could have did the research. Google is your friend and it's free. And you could have looked up what needed to be done. Like, I mean, I'm sure in your daily life as a businessman, you signed many contracts and read them before you signed it and went over it with your legal team before signing it. So all of a sudden, this situation, your eyes was in pain. You didn't have your glasses. All of a sudden, you illiterate, you dyslexic, you can't read. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. And then the guy sitting across you co-signing just because he's so happy to have an Elon Musk interview, you just as dumb and should have your license revoked. Another person put, "So one of the world's richest men was tricked into signing a document. Can he not read? Can he not pay someone else to read it for him? Like a lawyer? I have some papers I need signed. No need to read it and ignore all the zeros and dollar signs. Hashtag cry me a river." There was one that I saw with Moniece from, what was it? From Love and Hip Hop that I was like, I wanted to add to the docket, but there's so many damn comments in here. Oh yeah, I found it. So she put, "He believes in and promotes popularity control. He has children for fun just because he can't afford to. He gives them outlandish names for fun with no consideration for them and how they'll have to grow up by simply being his children, let alone by name. He's a tech genius and multi-billionaire. Everything he does is strategic, including impregnating women. So how is that he was tricked into signing anything? At the very least, he simply did his due diligence. You'd think that someone who created for sport would have certain protections in place. His bad. Next." So yeah, I say that to say I think we got enough out of what we need to get out of him. Elon Musk, you are a fucking idiot. You pretty much are just saying anything at this point to remain relevant. This whole woke mob thing, and we already know that you're giving millions of dollars to Trump and his campaign. Like, we know what it is that you're doing. You're a piece of shit. You're a piece of trash, and nobody likes you. Not even the women that spread their legs to have a baby with you. So I'm saying all this to say, let me know what y'all think of this dumbass story in the comments down below.